Um, I hope most of people already join us, and I see today also Dr. Sasbiswas from India. Yeah, that's nice. So we have absolutely international meeting today. Also, I see a lot of colleagues from our university, and not too much participants of Kyiv Forestry Students Association, but I believe they will join soon, or just they finish their evening meal. Yeah, I think that's a nice opportunity to meet us together. And today we will have three speakers. We will start with Nele. I consider it of like up 20 minutes presentation or speech with some questions and answers session after that. But we are not going to take a lot of your time. As soon as limited time will be finished, we can complete this session and start with another speaker. But if you would like to talk a little bit more, you're also welcome, because we are open for new knowledges. Okay, are you ready to start?
I'm ready when you're ready.
Then I think we can start just now. Try to share the screen. It takes a bit of time. Nele is from Eberswalde. Yes, is it right?
Yeah, I'm from Eberswalde, right? Yeah, I will just. Okay. Yeah, I guess I just start. It's okay for everyone?
I just maybe some short disclaimer. Don't be shy. Everyone is like in unofficial conditions here. We just sharing our knowledge and sharing experience. So you are welcome to make any informal additions if it needed.
Okay, right. Then yeah, welcome to everybody, and thanks for having me. I was also surprised being asked to talk here, but yeah, it's kind of cool having a meeting again with IFSA and just informally speaking about our practices and topics which are ongoing. Yeah, for example, in Eberswalde is really hard to work in groups, but we organized some courses. He has a forestry background, so that's what we are doing right now. We are giving some kind of lectures on basic forestry, and it's kind of cool getting in touch with the already bachelors which are studying now their masters. So that's what we are doing in the moment. And I'm just gonna present some spotlights which are in German head topics in the moment, and maybe we can catch on later with the other topics in the other presentations I saw. Yeah, so we're just gonna start. Yeah, here you can see, just for example, where we wanted to go with you on the NERM in April. So this is kind of the swamps at the Biofuels Reserve in Schafheide. And they're pretty nice and really having many species which are endangered, because as everywhere in Europe, swamps are often exploited for the tar. I don't know if it's called the same in English, but yeah. So they're really decreasing and they're protected really good. And just going to present some specialty of this biosphere reserve. So it is one of the 701 UNESCO model regions, and the project is called Human Biosphere. So we have kind of a cultural reserve which is located next to Berlin, and is like right off the same size of Berlin, and near to the Polish border, and Oder, which is a really big river, like giving the frontiers to Poland. So it is tried here to, behind this title, that the reserve is working with the people living there, because there's pretty much agriculture located, but also maintaining the swamps and marshlands which are around the forest. So it's a great mixture of lakes, swamps, marshlands, and you can do great explorations there, and at least also a little bit of hiking. The highest mountain is 80 meters high. So with it, you can watch all over the area. Yeah, it's pretty nice there. But it's also called Lagefäng. So in German, that means it's a pandemic marshland. And it's called like this because there are so many mosquitoes, and you have to wear long shirts and stuff. And the goal there is to initiate some sustainable economics and also like socially economics. So in the kind of degrowth thinking, but not just focus on this. So it's just that the agriculture development is not focused on big sizes or about selling stuff. And it has great opportunities of organic agriculture. It is also called cultural lands because there are many touristic sites, so they manage pretty well to have the region touristically seen, not in the moment, but for sure later. And there we wanted to go in the Nurm because there's great hiking stuff, and as you can see, it's really big, and it's having special sites of really 2,000 years old beaches, and I will come to that later. And it was funded, it's pretty young, so it's funded in 1991, and it contained 1,200 square kilometers, but it's still big, and has various FFH and Natura 2000 sites, which are specially protected, have core zones, so there are many bird species which are having their nest there. And the osprey and the sea eagles, also the black stork and the otter are living there, just here. You can see 2 pictures of them. So you can spot them very easily, and they're really nice to watch, especially by the seas, by the lake sides. So we're just gonna go on for the beaches I mentioned. So there's a special site in Gromzin, which was also solely extra declared as UNESCO World Heritage because of its famous beaches. So they were very old, and the glacial landscape formed the site. So it's a special lowland site where the beach is growing, and they're pretty near to the groundwater. I will later explain why this is so important. And it is one of the largest contiguous beach forests worldwide. So we're having 6,400 years ago, there was also this site covered by beaches, and also 40% of Europe. And so this site is one of the last remnants of these old beach sites, which were 6,000 years ago. And so it was a special hunting area in the GDR. So it was used and protected. So we're just hunting, no silviculture, nothing, to have a really great site. And that's why it was also declared after the wall, after the wall was falling, it was maintaining conservation area, and is nearly primeval in its situation, and that's kind of impressive there and really nice to walk. But I'm just talking today if you're like wondering about 3 kind of species and their threats, because they're the 3 main cultivated ones, and also natural situated. We have like 15% beech, 22 pine, and 26 spruce, which is not really natural as a spruce. It's mostly cultivated to have the economic good because it's fast growing. I will later explain why this is so dangerous in Brandenburg. Then we have oak, larch, and other deciduous tree, just over here. And we come to one of the threats I've mentioned. So we have our famous beach sites, but beaches are like increasingly endangered. Really endangered, they're still in a high number, but if we just look at the worldwide temperature anomaly and the one of Germany in between like 100 years or something, 120, we see it's increasingly warm. Like we all know, climate warming and climate change are really giving a threat to our silviculture basics. So the beach has its natural potential in Europe and also in the north, but it's decreasing. And due to many studies, many have found out that since 2000, a big beach dieback is happening, and also this is indicated by broken crowns, which are not leafing anymore and having really like they're not looking stable, and this is mainly caused by the precipitation in Germany and also Brandenburg, because it's decreasing. We have like 500 millimeters as a median, but in the last 5 years, it was not reaching the 500. It's nearly like 400 millimeter maximum. So the peak is really decreasing, and the beaches with their roots having not enough suction, how it's called, yeah, not suction limitations, so they're not can go too deep, and the groundwater is shrinking due to anthropogenic influences and so on. So this is really a threat here, and because of this drought and the beach dieback of the crowns, they're not stable anymore, and then there's coming storms. Past years, few years, it was severe. 2018 was having huge storm breaks, and mostly beaches were damaged, of course. So that's one problematic we're facing now. Yeah. Then the next one, we have the 8-tooth and 6-tooth sprucebark beetle. We all know it, I think. In Europe, it's quite a pandemic here. So due to monoculture cultivation of spruce, shreds like the droughts I already mentioned, cause high fluctuations of the bark beetles. And we all know the galleries of bark beetles. So it is really unusual, for example, having spruce as natural potential in the north of Germany. So they're really like struggling because of, I already mentioned, the precipitation is not enough. And they're already then deposited to be to be cultivated by, not cultivated, but populated by the 8-toothed and 6-toothed sprucebark beetle. And then it's just going really big, like you see in the picture. It's in Thuringia in the Harz, because we have just spruce monocultures there, and this is a deposition to them. So if we're just looking at, so one cause is one-dimensional sites, which no understory, simple, just one species. So no niches for other insects, for example, which can be antagonist or bark beetles, can really settle here. So we see the increase of the fluctuations, and also the eminent harmed wood, or I don't know how to express this in English, the wood loss caused by the sprucebark beetle. And we see, like, since 2020, right, 2018, the fluctuation is really high. And one cause is that the sprucebark beetle has more than one generation in one season, so they can develop many generations in one season. It's like up to 5 or 4, I think. So this is pretty hard to deal with, also for forest land. So we evolved some forest hygiene, which is kind of ambivalent, because it can be very useful to prevent from bark beetle fluctuation, but it also harming the humus layer and can't develop a real structure there. So important, therefore, is to really have a look on the management. So next threat, which is mainly on pine in Brandenburg, because Brandenburg is one of the most damaged regions in Germany, which having fires. We have in total, we have 2,300 hectares of forest fires, and Brandenburg makes up to 1,600 hectares. This is pretty much. So more than the half is just in Brandenburg. So the impact is not only on vegetation and climate, it's also on atmosphere, nutrient cycles, carbon storage. We all know this. But most likely they're caused by anthropogenic actions. So we have just 2% naturally made of forest fires. The rest is impacted by us. Here it was in Trondheim, where we wanted to go also for the narrow review. It was caused by munition, which was left in the forest from the Second World War. So it kind of exploded and made the fire, which was really big here. And still they're ongoing with pine cultivation, monoculture, and they're replanting just pines. That's kind of sad here. If you see it, it's really poor sight. So extreme events like this can potentiate our carbon emissions enormously and contribute to global emissions for sure. And if you just regard from the EFFI, the European Forest Watch, how the baseline climate was in the past decade and the past century. So Brandenburg was kind of endangered, but for sure the southern European countries more. But you see it's growing, and the risk is getting much higher, and in future it looks like, well, Germany could be affected by it, and also more parts of France, Spain, and, yeah. So we should really look for better solutions in agriculture for sure. Another topic is the Geiger fabric of Tesla, where already 90 hectares are logged of forest. So it's no valuable forest. One can say me as a conservation pro. No, not pro. I don't know how to say it, but I'm not contra conservation. So, but this is just monoculture pine. It was monoculture pine, and Tesla is planning to build a very big fabric here for its cars, and there were huge critics about this, but they're trying to compensate it with 3 times bigger forest planted for the area they're using here next to Berlin also, which is kind of cool, but it takes time until real forest is developed and can store that much carbon which is here emitted for sure. And big issue in public, still ongoing, but we will see how this develops. And I don't know if it's beneficial or not. Next big topic is here also the Dannröder forest, which is under threat since 40 years. It is planned to do ongoing building of the Autobahn, which is here planned, and many activists settled here to fight this threat. And the last weeks there was some really political presence, because they're starting now again to log even more of the forest, and activists were settling in the forest to stay and to block it. So there was also violence from the police and from the activists, and it's still a big topic because it was really a structural, valuable forest, which is here then locked again for the Autobahn, which is also impacting like forests, nature, and also settlements of villages which are in the middle of the Autobahn and have then to leave their homes. And also coal mining is a big issue here. We're fighting pretty much against the logging of forests because of coal mining, but also for resettlement because of coal mining. And yeah, it's kind of connected, having a coal fight and fighting for the forest to maintain. So to conclude, I just want to say that, oh, sorry. No, 1 second. Yeah, I just want to say that Germany tries to establish like mixed cities forests, but it's still a long way there, and we have really to look for climate change for sure. Everyone is saying that, but I still want to say it because it's important, and it's a long way to have ecologic, social, economic balance for everyone, and especially in silviculture, because it is partially owned privately, partially communal, and partially from the state. So the state has more, for example, more power to change their practices. Yeah, and many institutions in forests we all know, FSC, PFSC, etc., which are trying to evolve these standards, but it's a hard way there. And yeah, it should be a motivation to us because we are the future of European forest. Well, thank you for listening, and if you have questions, go on.
Thank you, Nele, for great presentation. And don't be shy, you did a well job.
Thank you.
If anyone have a question, you can just unmute it yourself and ask it, or if you have some problems with audio, you can type in the chat box and I will name the question you are adding. And while you are thinking about that, I have one important question of experience, because now in Ukraine we also have some diebacks of pine and fires and so on, and a lot of community members, they just against the foresters, dealing with the forest, with forest management, considering like forest as like biggest enemy of the forest. So can you just summarize what is the situation in Germany? Do you have any like conflict with society, between foresters and society?
I feel like it's not so openly discussed what foresters are doing. So this is maybe a general thing that we're not connected enough to what's ongoing in forestry. We just know they're foresters and they're doing the forestry thing, and we know it's now a bigger issue because of media and stuff. But there's still like old conservative men, especially, which are leading kind of most forestry sectors and which are maintaining to cultivating pine. And for me, or in the forestry bubble, I would say that, yeah, there is kind of discussion who should be ruling this, and kind of also enemies. I wouldn't call it enemies because we should all work together on it, but if somebody can't see what's the problem of monocultures and can't see what ecologic processes are inherent in our forestry, then it's kind of hard to deal with, and there's definitely kind of a borderline existing then. And yeah, I don't know if this fight, but it's a discussion which is hard to take, I would say. Yeah. And especially against pine and spruce, which aren't bad species of trees, but which are just used too often.
Okay, any more questions from somebody else? Because I still have some. Dr. Sasbiswas, do you have a question? I see your finger. Please.
I just like to know there is a Euro gene, and they're concerned with the genetic development of many policy important agencies. I was in Germany in Gossensdorf in Institute of Genetics during the late 90s. And I learned about the Eurogene as a group where there's a good funding for the development of Fagus helvetica, if I understand, beech tree, and also of spruce too. I'd just like to know whether you have got any funding from that group of who are concerned with the genetic conservation of the such forestation.
Have you got the question? Because
Any funding,
there's a bit
finance, anything you're getting from? I find that there is a UNESCO, yes, but I understand. But there are some other also mega funding agencies for the protection of such species.
Nele, we cannot hear you.
Sorry. I am not sure if I got it right, but about the beech forests and the UNESCO.
Yeah, probably financial support of preservation of such unique objects.
Yeah, there was a funding of EU Life, which are mostly funding this kind of projects, but UNESCO, I don't know if they're maintaining giving money, but they're offering so many projects there. And also we had some at our university on genetic resources for the UNESCO biosphere, but especially on the beaches. And it was definitely funded by EU Life. I don't know so much about this, but yeah. Sorry.
And I would like to continue my question about this community participation and how people consider foresters. So I know that in United States, for example, there is a community collaboratives, and every member of community can join the process of considering the trees for cutting or preserving, etc. So they can actively participate and decide the future of the especially one tree. For example, if somebody's grandmother was born close to one tree, they want to preserve, have an opportunity discussing such issue during the meetings. So I'd like to know if there's any similar work in German practices to join community to decide the future of some specific plot of the forest.
So it's not so extremely common. It's kind of closed in the state forests. In the private, I'm not sure. There are some they're called see-through forestry. So in German, it's kind of glass-like forestry, where there's an open participation. like intended and also try to implement. I'm not extremely sure how much this is working in Germany. In Berlin, there's some project on social forestry in the cities. So this is kind of working better because people are sometimes they're more engaged in having forests and forestry in the cities. But there's not so many projects. I mean, there are communal lands, where this is really applied, but mostly it's always somebody who is dedicated to forester. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if Johannes maybe has other expressions. No, not really. No, there's some kind of intention setting projects on social forestry, especially combined with agriculture. So agroforestry is more easy to enter than in solely forestry.
Thank you for your answer. It's true that forest is like more specific, and agroforest is open for more variety of owners. That's true. Yeah. If there are any more questions, because I'm the only one actually participating in such questions. Yeah, Yotam, you have a question, is it? Yeah, you're welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. My question to Nele. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yeah, Nele.
Nele, okay. What kind of cooperations or what kind of initiatives are there in Brandenburg with politicians and stakeholders?
So you mean in the exchange of forestry or
exactly
ministry?
For when the sector of forestry and forestry protection, are there initiatives or platforms where people like you, conservationists, or even just the public can sit with a stakeholder or politician and kind of try to discuss? And because it feels like the only interface, the only time where the people meet the government is like in in Daneroide Forest.
Yeah.
But are there a little more, peaceful ways to?
For sure. I mean, this was kind of a dramatic example, which is happening now. So they're like the NABU, which is general on ecological manners, and we have the security agency on German forest, which is kind of trying to provide exchange between the politics and the foresters, and also like the public. What else? There's kind of some NGOs acting, but solely on forest in the first place. It's also FSC for sure, PFC. Then there is a smaller one, kind of organic silviculture for Naturland, which is having also like organic farm products. So trying now to engage in, because many have the opinion that it should be combined. Because also our ministry is Ministry for Forestry and Agriculture, but not even forestry is not even in the name, right, Johannes? It's just Ministry for Diet and Agriculture.
Yeah, exactly. It was like 10 years ago. It was in the name of the ministry, but they cut it out, and yeah, that's very bad. I also think that's bad, and we need to get it back.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, this kind of exchange is definitely happening. Yeah, and activists, but it's more in the parts where there's big topics or problematics which are ongoing, like coal mining, and so this is more likely, yeah. But more than on animal conservation then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Nele. Time is out, and if someone want to ask a question, you can type in the chat, And I see from the message about the organization website mentioned in the speech, so everyone can check it if you want. Thank you very much, Nele, for your presentation and answers set. So now we are inviting Vova to talk about a bit of Ukrainian specific questions. Vova, are you here?
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm here. Let me share my screen.
The floor is yours.
Okay. Is the presentation visible?
Yes, it works well.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Volodymyr Kravets, third-year bachelor student of the National University of Life and Environmental Sciences of Ukraine, LC KFSA, and I'm really glad to join this event as a speaker with the topic Contribution of Ukrainians' Forestry to Combating Climate Change. So let's start. First of all, let's briefly refresh our knowledge about Ukrainian forestry and its conduction nowadays. The total area of Ukraine around 60 million hectares, and only 15.9% are covered with forest. Main tree species is Scots pine and common oak, among other 30 species which are common in Ukraine. The average age of the forest is around 60 years, and the vast majority of which were planted by humans. 87% of forest area are owned and operated by state. And also in the picture, you can see how the forest area is disturbed among the region. And the most powerful and productive forests are in the Polisa and Carpathian Mountains region. So let's figure out if that area of forest and its conduction enough to meet the nowadays problems as climate change. Climate change is a global problem which affects all of the countries without exceptions. It is caused by dangerous weather events such as floods, strong winds, heavy rains. In Ukraine, actually, the rate of rise in air temperature is ahead of global trends, as a result of which droughts are likely to intensively and spread in Ukraine. I guess most of us knows about Olesky Desert in Ukraine. It's Ukrainian desert in the steppe zone, which is growing. Also in Ukraine, the average annual temperature has risen by 1.2 degrees over the last 30 years, and it's still growing every year. If humanity does not abandon the use of fossil fuels in the second half of the century, then in 30 years, the average annual temperature in Ukraine may rise by another 1 or 1.2 degrees, and by the end of the century by 3 or 4 degrees. Here on the graphic, you could see how the temperature has changed since the 90s of the last century, and it cannot help but be scary. Just imagine the quick consequences it could make in the future with such a rate of temperature rise. One of the main reasons for climate change is greenhouse gas emissions. And here in Ukraine, we have a really interesting situation because the emission in 2015 amounted to 308 million tons of CO2 equivalents, and this curve compared to the base year 1990 by 66.1%, and compared to 2014 by 13.2%. But unfortunately, this reduction is not a result of right moves and challenges, but a consequences of reduced energy use due to falling GDP, declining population, and declining social standards. As you could see in the picture, the most important is CO2, its share during that period of time was 65–75%. It's quite a lot. Right managed forests are the main greenhouse gas sinks in the land use and forestry sector, and forest lands on average from the period 2010–2015 uptake greenhouse gas to 65.5 million tons of CO2 equivalents for a year. As one of the main absorber of the greenhouse gas, forests need to be developed for nowadays and future challenges. And of course, our government is dealing with this issue, directing activities to sustainable forest management, rational replacement of shuttle bells and agro-ameliorative reclamation plantations, which make up the ecological framework of landscapes. Optimization of age structure, because today we have mostly middle-age plantations, which in the future could become an old one and no longer absorb, but on the contrary, produce more greenhouse gas. Also, the peculiarity in the imbalance of the land use in Ukraine, executive plowing of the territory, as well as the low level of forest cover. The average forest cover of Ukraine is 15.9%, and the average forest cover of European countries is 37%. And as facing that problem, Ukraine is following the improving practices based on climate organized methods of forestry, climate smart forestry. Also, as a way to improve Ukrainian adaptation to global changes, the State Forestry Agency is developing a structure for forestry development, which includes such important points as increasing the country's forest cover, increasing productivity and resilience of forest, control of level of carbon dioxide emission, and absorption by forest of Ukraine. This is still being discussed, but all of these factors should change the situation in the future. The forecast of greenhouse gas uptake dynamics in different scenarios of forestry development in Ukraine is based on the result of the international project CEFORMA, and it includes such indicators as natural growth of plantations, the amount of wood harvested during clear cutting, wood loss due to the influence of adverse factor, and reforestation. Based on this data, was developed three strategies for development of Ukrainian forestry for the period up to 2050. It's internal, progressive, and progressive with optimal forest cover. Next, I will tell a little more about each of them. The first one is the initial strategy, and by 2050, its scenario is expected to gradually reduce the growth in forest, mainly due to changes in the age structure of forest, which will lead to a gradual decrease in greenhouse gas uptake. It is expected that by 2050, the volume of annual greenhouse gas removal will decrease by 26% compared to 2020, and will amount to about 44.4 million tons of CO2 equivalent per year. With the implementation of the progressive scenario, the age structure of forests will gradually level off by 2030. Also, it will take about 50 years to achieve the optional edge structure. In this scenario, the increase in forest growth, as in the internal scenario, will also decrease due to objective reason related to the dynamic of the edge structure of forest, but the decrease will not be as significant. Reduction of forest growth will lead to a decrease in annual greenhouse gas uptake in forest by 16% compared to 2012, and in 2050 CO2 uptake is projected at 50.4 million tons per year. The last scenario, which I love more, includes achievement of forest cover in Ukraine at the level of 19.4%, implementation of the progressive scenario similarity with the additional creation of new forest on the area of 1.45 million hectares, as provided by the afforestation strategy in Ukraine, developed in 2015 within the FAO project, Consolidation of Forest Policy in Ukraine, which will help to increase greenhouse gas uptake by 3.5 million tons on CO2 equivalent. In this graph, you could see how the gas absorption will take place in each of the scenarios by 2050, and which one will give us the best result. As you can see here, it's the progressive. Oh, sorry, it's the progressive scenario with optional forest cover. And in conclusion, I would like to say that Ukraine is facing serious consequences of climate change. The most effective way to prevent it is to increase the area of forest, and we need to follow progressive scenario with optional forest cover for best results. Even in the best case, the absorption capacity of forests will gradually decrease, so it is necessary to take action to reduce emission and their absorption in other industries too. Here are the sources for that presentation. All the information was gathered from official sites of the State Forestry Agency and Ministry of Ecology and National Resources of Ukraine. Thanks for your attention. I'm ready for your question.
Thank you, Vova, for your presentation. You did also a lot of work to prepare it. And I would like to ask if anyone have a question from other participants, because I have one for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I will start, and if someone else would like to join, you're welcome. So my question is about the implementation of such scenarios in Ukraine. And do you think that such actions on planting 1 million trees, 2 million trees, really effective for getting the optimal indexes of forest cover, and also tackle with carbon emission?
Of course, if we will just plant a big amount of trees, it's not really good, because in the future we will get the same problem with different age, and so we could have like 50% of middle-aged trees and around 20% of young age trees, and in the future we just lost our protection from carbon emission, but we'll get more and other gases. So of course it's not really good, and it should be like how to say, everything should be in the same quality, or how to say. Yeah, I hope I answered your question.
It seems that yes, in general you answered my question. That's nice. And maybe you have ideas how to engage some financial support for such a global project for Ukraine.
My ideas about it, we just have to make a strategy which we will follow, and if European Union or United States will help us, of course we'll get some financial, but also we could get some financial from using our lands just to use like non-forest production or making more lands for forest use. So I guess it could work.
Thank you. So somebody else to ask questions or maybe some comments? Seems to me that there is no question. Everything is super clear.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. May I ask a question, if possible?
Of course.
Yeah. So, Vova, thank you for the presentation. It was interesting to listen to it. Would you please shed some more light on the question of which of these scenarios are the most realistic from the current perspective?
The most realistic, I think the most realistic is progressive one, because maybe I have really optimistic views of our governments and how the forestry is going on right now. But after changes the head of state forest agency, now we are working on the new strategy, and I hope that if we will follow it, we will get like the middle result, not the worst one, but not the best one, but still really good one, which will be enough for us. I hope that progressive will be enough.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else would like to ask Bob for some Ukrainian-related topic to the forestry? Yes, we know one. So if Johannes is not don't mind, we can start with your presentation. It's like 5 minutes before, but I think it doesn't matter for the moment. I would ask Vova to stop sharing and thank you for your presentation. And yeah. Johannes, you can start with your presentation as well.
All right. I will share my screen soon, but everybody needs to have your phone with you. So I hope you have your phone with you because it's going to be interactive. Okay, give me a second. Yes. Right. Check everything works. Yeah. Okay. So everyone, do you have your phone with you? Because you need to go to the website www.menti.com with your phone. You just type it in your browser. Very easy. I will also do it. And you enter the code 1. I started. I won't confuse you. Now you should see on your screen our beautiful IFSA logo and forestry and sustainability. Okay. Are you in?
I am in.
Eva, are you in?
Website is on the top of the screen, www.menti.com, and the code is just here also.
Perfect. All right, you can join in all the time. Yeah, I hope we can start. And if you would like, you can also share your home. You can see I have a European flag and a Canadian flag here because I like the European Union and Canada. And yeah, I would also love to see your rooms. Maybe there is also some nice flags, or I don't know. It's just I'm curious. Okay. First of all, we start with an icebreaker, okay? So I have the question for you. Which superpower would you like to have? So would you like to be invisible or read people's mind or have the ability to fly? You can choose on your phone and we will see it then on the screen. Very good. 6 people are participating. If you just joined in, then you can use the website menti.com and type in the code. All right, a lot of people would like to fly. That's good. I think because you would like to fly above the forest and see all these beautiful trees. But also a lot of people would like to read people's mind. Okay, I can understand that. Yeah. Okay, very good. I hope the ice is... Oh, there are more people coming. Nice. 10 people already. That's good. Okay, but ability to fly is still the highest. That's very good. Okay, we will continue. So that's me in Canada in the Rocky Mountains. And yeah, it's my favorite place to be. I'm Johannes Herzog. I'm from the LC Göttingen, which is almost in the center of Germany. And yeah, I like hiking and forestry and all that stuff. And yeah, short introduction about me. And yeah, this picture was taken in Canada. Okay. I think you all know this. This is planet Earth, and we all live on it, and we need to protect it. And Vova already mentioned, yeah, climate change is coming, and we need to do something. So I would like to talk to you a little bit about how we can protect this beautiful blue planet. And yeah. Hey, everybody. So now you need to type on your phone your name or cool stuff, and then join the quiz. And at the end, there will be a leaderboard, so good luck. And yeah, keep up. All right. 9 people already joining. Okay. Simona also needs to join. Yeah, 10 people are joining. Wow, that cool symbols here. Within the presentation, I will ask some questions and you need to answer it. So keep focused so you can answer the questions. And at the end, there will be a leaderboard and you can see if you won or not. Okay, let's go. The first question is, what does IFSA stand for? There are 3 options. You on your phone and yes, very good. Wow, I'm very glad. That's cool. Okay, we can continue. Everyone is there and knows the right answer. Oh, this is, yeah, you don't need to see this now. Now I want to know a little bit about what do you think sustainability is. I want to know how much experience you have there and just throw some words in there. What do you think sustainability is? Okay, sustainability is good and great, yeah. Long term, very good. Mission, yeah, future generations. Forest, resources, equilibrium, wow. What a hard word, preservation. Yeah, very nice. That's cool. Yeah, of course, forestry is very important for sustainability. Generations are important, long-term is important. Sustainability is the, I think equilibrium is the right term. So we would live sustainable if we live together with nature and in harmony and all that stuff. There's a long way to go, but we try to do it. And yeah, it's also has something to do with future generations. Very important. All right. I hope you all know this graphic. It's the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere, and it's in parts per million. These are 8,000 years ago, so a long time ago. I think the modern human was in Africa. I think we first take off here 3,000 years ago. So there have been a lot ups and down, but then the Industrial Revolution came and just got really high up, and we accelerated it a lot, and this is very bad. But I think you all know that, but I just wanted to show it to you. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. Okay, then I want to know from you if you know the Sustainable Development Goals. Have you heard of them before? Do you know them, or do you have no clue at all what this is? All right. Yeah, that's very good. Several people of you know the SDGs, and 2 of you have heard of them, and no one doesn't know the SDGs, so that's very good. I hope this presentation won't bore you, or wouldn't be boring, but I assure you I will make it very good as I can. Okay. Yeah, these are the SDGs. We have 17 of them, and I will talk about how each of them is connected with forestry a little bit, because these sustainability goals are helping us to go into the future and achieve, hopefully, the state of sustainability. Yes. So we have 17 goals in total, and they are together with 169 related targets. So there are targets set that we want to meet until 2030. And forestry is explicit mentioned in SDG 15, light on land, and SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. We begin with the first SDG, which is no poverty. So the goal is to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. And we can help with that, or one thing with forestry is to secure property rights support for protection. So the landowners get the rights of the land, and they need to take care of their forest. You can imagine if you have a forest, and you can call it your own forest, then you wouldn't cut down every tree, because you know it takes a long time until trees grow up again. And so this will help, and you could earn money if you have property. Then the SDG number 2, zero hunger. No hunger, very big goal. But agroforestry could help with that, because agroforestry is a way to combine food production and forestry. And yeah, if you have any questions, just talk to me. I don't see the chat right now, but I think someone could just say something. You have questions, okay? But we will also have time for questions at the end, so you just can write it down and yeah, do some questions at the end. SDG number 3, good health and well-being. Oh, there's also grammar mistake. Shit. So the goal is, yeah, of course, good health and well-being. And I'm not sure if you know, but many infectious diseases are associated with forest disturbance and intrusion. So when we have biodiversity loss, it can happen that this biodiversity loss and that human got deeper and deeper into the forest help diseases like corona to happen. So that's not very good. So we really need to take care of our biodiversity and forestry. And also a big thing coming up in Germany right now, it's excursions, forest bathing. So they go into the forest and relax and yeah, they go in the forest to relax and take a deep breath and yeah, feel good again after that. And it's proven that that you are feeling better after you've been in the forest because it's very green and it's very good. SDG 4, quality education. We have the EDS, Education for Sustainable Development. They are very important, and they are supporting pro-environmental behavior. And we have also forest pedagogics. In Germany, it's going to increase with forest pedagogics. You can do a certificate at our university, for example, and it's a lot of people want to do this certificate, and not everyone can do it. But it's very good to have forest pedagogics certificate, and a lot of people want to do more. Students, schools, they want to go in the forest and learn something about it. I think that's a very good development. Quality, SDG 5, gender equality is very important because studies show that women are more environmental friendly and have in general a lower CO2 impact than men. So it would be better if we have gender equality, because then the world will have lower CO2. And yeah, not of course because of that, but this would also help. SDG. Yeah, question time. Grab your phone and question time again. I hope everyone is ready. Yeah, 8 people are ready. Okay, 9 people are ready. That's very good. Then we should start. Question is, which SDG is next? Okay, I hope you keep up with me. Now we see the results. Wow, okay. Should I read a little bit slower or? Yeah, maybe, okay. Wait, let me drink something and then we will continue. Okay, everybody, SDG 6 is following. Please keep up. Okay, I'm right, SDG 6 is following. Very good. SDG 6 is water and sanitation. I'm sure you all know the forest ecosystem services. So forestry is very, very important for clean, pure water. Forest, clean water. Then we have the SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. Yeah, it's not very good to heat with wood because it's kind of inefficient, but it's CO2 neutral and it's better than burning coal, of course. But also science is going to involve new biofuels and of course solar and wind and all that stuff. But forestry is also good for yeah, for producing heat. SDG number 8, very critical SDG for my point of view, decent work and economic growth. So there are different trade-offs between land use change. For example, if you change from forestry to agriculture, then this is a land use change, and it's going to set off CO2 because forests are storing CO2. And the very important thing is to decoupling economic growth from environmental degradation. And this will be a major challenge. So if someone is into that, like circular economy and all that stuff, very interesting. And if someone knows more than me, please speak up and tell me more, because I think this is a very interesting topic. Okay, SDG number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. Forestry has not so much to do with that. There are also major trade-offs, because if you build a new highway, then mostly forestry is cut down, as Nele mentioned. The Göttingen forest wants also to be cut down because of a new highway. And we have SDG 10, reduce inequalities, very important SDG. Oh, question time again. Grab your phone and let's see if you follow my interesting presentation. All right, 10 people are there. That's very good. Yeah, wow, it's the same question again. And you need to type. Okay, 5 seconds left. Yeah, okay, not everybody got it, but yeah, 4 times, that's good. Okay, and someone is joking around here, okay. SDG number 11, sustainable cities and communities. At my faculty, we have a study program called arboriculture. This has, so arboriculture are the foresters of cities. And so they are very important to make cities more sustainable, to plan forests in the city, because I'm sure you know, you have trees in the city, then you have improved air quality and lower temperature. More greener cities are better for well-being. SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production. So as you can see on the symbol, it's has something to do with circular economy, and we produce, and I guess we are all foresters, and we produce very good wood products, timber products, and we should reuse as much as we can and then recycle wood products. So we should keep them as long as they can recycle, and then we can burn them. SDG number 13, Wolva already mentioned it, climate action, very important, and I'm sure you all know we need to do something, and forestry is one way, because forestry has a huge impact. I'm not in the news, maybe you hear of the Brazilian forestry cover loss, and yeah, forestry has a huge impact. But as Wolva already mentioned, forestry can help to mitigate CO2, and we need to plant trees and yeah, fight against climate change. Number 14, life below water. There's not so much trees underwater, but we have coastal and mangrove forests. So they're very close to water, and they're also very important for the ecosystem. Number 15, life on land, is the most important SDG. And yeah, because it's about protection, restoration, and sustainable use of ecosystems like forests. SDG 16. peace, justice, and strong institutions. I think we all agree to that we know and we need peace, because whenever there's war or injustice forces the victims. So when there's war, a lot of people are cut down forests, and very good example, for example, is the Second World War. And Germany needs to cut down a lot of trees to reimburse the winners. And we cut down huge hectares of our land, and then we forest them with pine and spruce, and now they're even age stands, and they are the bark beetles are attacking them, and that's very bad. And of course, if you have good institutions and strong laws that can help to protect forests, then we have SDG number 15. Sorry, I'm really bad with the numbers today. So SDG 17. It's Partnership for the Goals. And there is the IFSA network, very important. So as we can see, we are speaking about German and Ukrainian forestry, and we learn from each other. So partnership is very important to achieve all of these goals. All right, it's quiz time again. Exactly, grab your phone. And yeah, 10 people are there, very good. Countdown is starting. How many SDGs did I present to you? Okay, 10 seconds. Very good. Very good. I'm glad that I did something right. So everyone knows we have 17 SDGs. Okay. Last quiz. This is about CO2. So 2-degree goal, how many CO2, tons of CO2 are we allowed to emit? Yes. Oh, 3 people are right. That's very good. So we have a carbon budget until 2050. And this carbon budget is split between everyone on the planet, I think 7 billion people. And so everyone is allowed to emit 2.3 tons of CO2. I'm sure a lot of you don't know what this amount means. You can just check out if you have taken a plane to a different country, then you can Google carbon offsets, and then you see, okay, from Berlin to London, for example, I think it's 800 kilogram of CO2 if you fly to London and then back. So you can only fly once a year, and then you're done with your budget. Or you shouldn't fly because you're driving an SUV, or you eat meat, for example. Meat is also very bad for carbon emissions. Now I want to show you something about forestry. And Vova already talked a little bit about it. I think there are different scenarios. So if we are doing great, then everything stays at 1.5 or 2 degrees. But if we are doing bad, that's the RCP 8.5 scenario, then the global temperature will increase by 5 to 6 degrees Celsius by 2100. And this is the map of Canada. This here is Alaska, that belongs to the US. This is Canada here. And this is the suitability zone of asphalt. like in this green zone, aspen feels very good and grows very good. This is from 1971 to 2000. And this black, yeah, I don't know the word, black line, is from the south of Alberta to the north. It's 1.3 thousand kilometers long, this line here. And if we do very bad at climate action, SDG number 13, then we get a higher temperature, 5 to 6 degrees Celsius. It's the average temperature. And the suitability zone from aspen, so where aspen feels very good, will move more than 1,300 kilometers to north. And I'm sure you all know trees have no feet, so they can't run or go somewhere else. So they need to do it somehow. But like it's not possible for trees to move this far in 100 years. And this is a very difficult thing. So we definitely, as foresters, need to take climate action. I'm sure you all know the like when you ask a forester today, what should we plant? What trees should we plant? Because the future is going to be uncertain of climate change, and we have higher temperatures and so on. A lot of foresters don't know what they should plant because yeah, you just don't know how it will be in the future, and you can't just plant palm trees here in Germany. But maybe in 100 years you can grow palm trees here. We don't know, but I hope we get climate action done and limit the temperature rise to 1.5 or 2 degrees. Okay. Yeah, to that question, I'm not sure if you know Fridays for Future, but they organize some climate strikes, and I want to know if you have participated in some of those strikes. Okay, wait a little bit longer. 8 participants, 2 are missing, I hope. Or have we lost 2 participants? Maybe I'm too boring. Okay, so 7 of you haven't participated in a climate strike. That's not very good, right? Because we need to do something. So I hope when the next climate strike is coming after Corona, or you can do also an online strike, to participate and fight for the forest so that we have all the trees and yeah, the forests don't die. Yeah, so maybe you ask yourself, what can you do? And there are a lot of solutions. I can just present you a few. Plant trees. Yeah, if you have a forest or you are a forester, I'm sure you are much in the forest, plant trees. And also you can use www.ecosia.org and also plant trees while you search for cute cat pictures, for example. I've done that, and I've planted already 2,480 trees while searching online for cute pictures of cats and for information about forestry and just for everything. And I think this is one of the easiest way and very cool. Yes, now we see who's the best. Oh, okay. Wow, Simone is the best, and I think then Jonas, and yeah, very good. Congratulations, Simone. So that's Simone here. Okay. Yeah, that was my quick presentation. please type in your questions on your phone, and I would like to answer them if you have any, and I hope I can answer them. And you can also give me feedback, type in if I've done good presentation or not so good. Yeah, just type something in. Oh, see, no questions from the audience. I'm doing very good. I'm doing awesome. Oh, there's a question. Very good. Thank you very much. This question is answered. Hey, more questions. Biofuels. My personal view is it's very difficult. I would prefer to use wind energy and transfer it into hydro energy, and or yeah, store it in electricity. So I think we shouldn't use so much biofuels, but they are CO2 neutral and better than coal. So maybe in the transition to carbon neutral world, we need biofuels. But it's also a big discussion between biofuels and agriculture. And yeah, so that's my opinion. Okay. All right. Thank you. Who is hardly CO2 neutral? A lot of people want to be CO2 neutral. A lot of states, China pledged it, I think South Korea, and yeah, there's also like a definition issue, what is CO2 neutral. But if you can just type in who is or isn't CO2 neutral, we can talk about it again. Do you consider invasive species either danger or possible solution for long-term future? This is a tough question. I'm really not an expert. Like, for example, in Germany, we have problems with spruce because the bark beetles are coming, and we plant a lot of Douglas fir. And Douglas fir is, for some people, for a lot of environmentalists, seen as an invasive species, or not invasive, but it's not from here. And yeah, I'm not very into that topic, but I think we need to think about that. And it's about the mixture. So we shouldn't have so much monocultures, more mixed stands, and as long as we have it in small scale, then I think we can also experiment with some species. For example, I'm not sure what's the English name, but the Latin name is acacia. Yeah, I think it's the acacia.
The black locust.
Yeah. Say it again, please.
It seems to me that it's black locust. Robinia pseudoacacia.
Yeah, Robinia pseudoacacia. Okay, black locust. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they are also very invasive, but it's also very good wood. Okay. Next question. Do you consider? That's the one. Okay. How the SDG promotion is going on in Germany? Very bad, actually. Very bad. The goal is that the SDGs will be finished in 2030, and I just did a survey on my faculty, and not a lot of students know the SDGs, so we do need to promote the SDGs. Thank you for that answer. Okay, yeah, a lot of answers. I think. Cool, I like it. The evening is getting late and there are funny answers. I prefer dark pigs. Okay, next slide. If you have more questions to me, and if you have more questions and or want to be get active in the Carbon and Sustainability Commission in IFSA, it's a very good way to do something. And yeah, just contact me or the head of Carbon and Sustainability, Philip Römer. You can also go on the Facebook website. And yeah, I think I have one last question for you. Very bad. I don't hear someone laughing. But okay, yeah, very good. Oh, vodka, also very good. Yeah, very good. Then cheers to you all, and yeah, I hope we can go into a little discussion now. Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you very much for a great presentation and kind of interaction. And I think everyone woke up just immediately. I don't know if it's because of some beer on the screen you're drinking, or just a really interesting topic to talk about. So if anyone have question, you are welcome to ask more, not only about cats and dogs. Vova, it was related to your topic. Do you have some questions?
Not really, not now.
Okay. Oh, no one. I don't know what's happening, or everyone is drinking beer and a bit busy to ask questions, but I'm really thankful for your participation, for you, Johannes, and you, Nele. You did a great job for us, for everyone who could join. And I also will say that I tried to record the video of today's meeting, and I will share with everyone who want to see it. We will try to upload on our Key Forestry Student Association YouTube channel. Hopefully we will be successful with that issue. But everyone after that we will be able to listen, to watch it, and if anyone will have questions, I'm sure we can redirect it to our speakers as well. If there's no question, it's just amazing time we spent today, the Friday evening. Thank you very much for that. And if anyone has some comments, maybe not questions, you're welcome to say it.
I just wanted to say thank you very much. It was great.
Yeah, and also thank you to Jana, or Jana, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Hanna.
Hanna. Or, yeah, okay. Well, thank you for moderating, and it was really nice having IFSA again, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. And also on 13th of November, we'll have similar meeting with head of NGO from Tajikistan, calling the Little Earth, that they are doing restoration projects and energy efficiency projects for native deep villages far away from the civilization, and it's a quite interesting topic and a lot of effort that team was able to do. You are welcome to join. We will advertise on the Facebook page and Instagram page. So yeah, thank you very much, and you are welcome for any event we are organizing online. Okay, Have a nice evening and good luck to
Ciao, everyone. Have a
Yeah,
nice
bye.
weekend.
Thanks, bye.
Enjoy it.
Bye. Bye.